goodness, that is the best way I have woken up in such a long time. Isn't that so lovely? Thank you for wishing us to be happy and well and safe and sound. Oh, it really makes me feel good this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the North Parish, a Unitarian Universalist congregation serving the Merrimack Valley and beyond. Welcome to anybody who's visiting us today. If you're relatively new, if you're joining us via Zoom, there's a camera in the back, and I can see folks down here. So glad you're here today on this snowy morning. Can't you just imagine that it's 1836 and you're seeing the exact same thing as people saw back then? It's really a beautiful morning. Welcome to this refuge in the snow. Let me see where the kids are sitting so far today. I know where you are. Anybody else back there? There you are. There's some of the young people, all the way in the back row. That's great. This week brings some big holidays. I know I start off a lot on Sunday mornings talking about some of the big holidays that are going on. Some of you may be celebrating the Jewish holiday of Purim tomorrow and Tuesday. Purim remembers the story of Queen Esther, who saved her people from the evil advisor Haman, who had the ear of the king and convinced him to kill a whole group of people. So a very pertinent story. Some of you may be celebrating the Hindu holiday of Holi on Wednesday. That's a festival of colors and love and spring. It honors divine love and the triumph of good over evil. And if you don't know about Holi, one of the stories is about this is for the kids, the way the god Vishnu figured out a sneaky way to kill a demonic king who couldn't be killed by a human or an animal, by day or at night, by a handheld or projectile weapons, or on land, water, or air. So if you want to know how Vishnu figured out how to do that, you got to look up that story about Holi. And meanwhile, of course, some of our friends are celebrating Lent and Ramadan. Here at North Parish, we celebrate the gifts of life every week. So whoever you are, and however you find yourself this morning, and wherever you are, for those of you joining us on Zoom, and whomever you love, you are welcome. If you are new to North Parish, and even if you're not, I need to offer a special caveat this morning. Today is the day when we kick off our annual stewardship drive to raise the funds to run this place. So you'll be hearing about that today. Our theme is Hope in Action, and I hope that this month is a month of mutual appreciation for all the ways that you all embody hope in action. Just by coming here this morning and joining online, we're doing that. So let's turn to each other and take a moment to tell each other, you give me hope. Good morning. You give me hope. You give me hope. You give me hope. You give me hope. Good morning. If we're all well greeted or getting there, I invite anyone who wants to just to take a breath, check in with yourself, see how you're doing this morning. Maybe offer yourself a little compassion, a little gratitude for making the effort to come here today. Maybe you need a little permission to lay down your burdens, at least for this hour. And if you want, you might open your hands to those around you, to the Spirit, to love, to receive, and send out a little compassion. Let's do this morning. Let's send out a little compassion to everybody here and those beyond. I think we need it. Do we not? Our opening words are by Sylvia Boorstein. Imagine how our lives might be if everyone had even a bit more of the wisdom that comes from seeing clearly. Suppose people everywhere simultaneously stopped what they were doing and paid attention for only as long as it took to recognize their shared humanity. Surely the heartbreak of the world's pain, visible to all, would convert everyone to kindness. So let's work on our own conversion to kindness this morning. We're going to sing number 368 in the gray hymnal, the big one. John's going to give us some instructions, I think. 368.
Yes, it starts off with the tenors and basses, or the lower voices. Now let us sing. And then the upper voices can come in, sing to the power, etc., etc. Let's try.
Good morning. Seeing all of your faces really does bring the joy, the hope to me. Welcome again to our service. My name is Cara. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Trustees and your worship assistant today. I'd like to give a shout out to the other board members who are serving as the Sunday team this morning, and remind you that we all welcome your questions and input. I have a few announcements to share. First, we ask everyone to put your phones in worship mode for the next hour, and we often use American Sign Language to show applause like this. And you're invited to come for coffee and conversation downstairs after the service. There are stairs near the entry, and there's an elevator through the door to my right. If you are a newcomer, you'll find visitor cards in the pew rack in front of you. You can fill one out and put it in the collection plate when that goes by. And there are also cards in the pews and the hymnal racks for messages to Reverend Lee for everybody. You can read in the order of service our weekly e-news about upcoming events and what is happening today after the service. There's Coffee and Clarity with the topic, How to Talk to Kids in My Life About the News. There's also a drop-in grief group meeting in the Blue Room today. Those are our announcements, short and sweet. Those zooming into the service may wish to light a candle or a chalice at home, and Jeremy Richards is on his way in to light our sanctuary chalice, this ancient symbol of communion and equality, of mystics and heretics, of reformers, refugees, artists, activists, and Unitarian Universalists everywhere.
Would the congregation please join me in reciting our chalice lighting words, written in your order of service or on the chat on Zoom. Empowered by love, we are in an inclusive, free-thinking faith community that awakens curiosity, nourishes the spirit, encourages growth, and inspires compassionate action.
Morning. As Reverend Lee mentioned, today is the start of the Stewardship Month at North Parish. The grown-ups will be talking about this while we are in religious exploration. So for the kids, I want to share that stewardship means taking care of something that's important to you, something that you love, so it will last. Think about how you take care of your toys, or how many of you have a pet in your family, maybe a dog or a cat or a turtle? Can I see a show of hands? Anybody have a pet? Excellent. You take good care of your pets because you love them, so we could say that you are a good steward of pets. Every year when we talk about stewardship at North Parish, we pick a word or words that can help us think about how we want to take care of North Parish. We want North Parish to last a long, long time. This year, the words are hope and action. Can you say that with me? Hope and action. Thank you. Sometimes we think of hope as a feeling, like maybe you hope there will be another snow day this week, or maybe you hope that there won't be because you would really like to go to school. But many times we can put hope into action. For instance, I hope everyone gets to celebrate their birthday with a cake and candles. So last month, we asked the people at North Parish to donate all the things a person would need to make a birthday cake, and you guys did. You donated so many things. And for the last 2 weeks, our kids and then our youth put together 48 birthday bags to donate to the food pantry that had everything needed to make a birthday cake. Now that is hope in action. Yay. Yay, North Parish. Yay, kids. I want to invite you to learn a body prayer with me about hope. You can do this anytime when you are not feeling hopeful and want to be. I hope you'll change any movement that doesn't work for your body to something that has the same meaning for you. For instance, instead of lifting your arms, maybe you could lift your eyebrows or spread your fingers, whatever works for you. And of course, you're invited to just listen if that's what works best for you. The words by Ana Hernandez and Ruth Cunningham are in your order of service, and we'll sing the first verse once without the motions and then both verses with the motions. Now John and the choir will lead us in learning the tune.
Right. The words are in the order of service, and it goes like this. Hope be with you. Hope before you. Hope to the right of you. Hope behind you. Got it. Hope to the left of you. Hope above you. Hope below you. Hope within. That's it. Yes. Excellent. Should we start? 2, 3. Hope be with you. Hope before you. Hope to the right of you. Hope behind you. Hope to the left of you. Hope above you. Hope below you. Hope within. Hope be with us. Hope before us. Hope to the right of us. Hope behind us. Hope to the left of us. Hope above us. Hope below us. Hope within.
Thank you. And now I would like to invite the grown-ups to join me in singing the children and youth out to their religious exploration groups with this little light of mine. It's number 118 in your gray hymnals.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine. Good morning. My name is Janet Foley, and I am chair this year of the stewardship team, the group that organizes our church-wide effort to raise the funds that sustain North Parish. We do this by asking everyone to make a pledge, to decide and tell us in advance how much money they plan to give to the church during our next fiscal year, July, which runs from July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. Our theme this year is Hope in Action. Every week, North Parish members bring hope to life by volunteering with our children and youth, organizing support groups, singing in the choir, engaging in spiritual practices, volunteering in local food pantries, addressing urgent justice issues, and creating opportunities for everyone to make an impact. These efforts show that hope is most powerful when we work together and take action. Many of us are part of North Parish because of this. It's the reason I joined this church. It's no surprise that our costs this year have risen because pledges cover 85% of the church's expenses. Your ongoing support is more important than ever. Last year, we surpassed our goal and raised $590,000. This year, our pledge goal is $640,000. And thanks to some families who made their commitments early, we have already raised $280,000. That's 44% of our goal. And we estimate that we need at least another 120 to 125 more pledges to raise the rest of the funds. We can do this. Every pledge, no matter the amount, brings us closer to our goal. We invite you to participate at a level that feels right for you and affirms our covenant to support one another. If you've never pledged before, please do so. And if you've pledged in the past, please consider increasing your pledge. With strong engagement from both members and friends, we're confident we can reach our goal this year. You should have received a letter by now with all the information on how to pledge, but you can actually pledge today with that little QR code that's right in the order of service. There will be people downstairs during coffee hour and at the stewardship table if you need help. This is a good time for me to introduce the rest of my team. We've got Adam Hamel, John Williams, Marsha Cordio, Bo Baird, myself. I think that's it. Yeah, I got everyone right.
Keith Wenzel.
Oh, and Keith. And where is Keith? Oh, sorry. I was looking for you. Okay. We'll be here during the coffee hour all through March to answer your questions, and thank you for your pledge. In the coming weeks, a few of our members, church members, will also be sharing what Hope in Action means to them. So your pledge makes a real difference. And thank you for being part of this campaign and a part of North Parish, this unique and loving Unitarian Universalist congregation. Thank you.
And thanks to Janet. How many years is this that you've, well, we don't even want to talk about it. I think this is her last year. So Janet and I, the last couple years, we've been in competition to see who of us can pledge first. Janet won. She really won this year because I haven't even started it. So I thought I would just show people how easy it is to do this, all right? I have my phone, cardinal sin, phone out during church. I know some of you do it, even though I don't have that high pulpit anymore. All right, so like Janet said, there's a QR code. You can use that. If your phone is broken, if your camera's broken in your phone, like mine is, you can also just go to the website, and then you go to give, and you go to annual giving pledge, and it pops up, and you go down to making a pledge. How and when do I make my pledge? I click on that, and there it is. I can just click on it and fill it in. But if I want to remember how much did I give last year, I'm just going to go over to my little Realm app. For those of you who don't know, Realm is how we track each other in the congregation. It's our database. I go to the Realm app. I go down to giving. I say make a gift. Okay. La 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 la. Oh, wait, I did something wrong. Annual pledge. There we go. But the cool thing about this is I can see what I gave last year. I can see what I gave 10 years ago. Here I go. I'm going to do it. Ta-da! Yes. Yes, that's what I want to do. Okay. Oh my gosh, I think I just put my whole pledge on my credit card. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, enough of that. Don't do that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh gosh. All right. So, okay, now that I've screwed that up, I'm going to invite you to look at the front of your order of service, and there's this little picture here with love in the center and these other 6 words around it. These are the values. See, this is what happens when you don't wear your glasses and you rush things. And you know, these are new values that were just adopted by a whole big national process, democratic voting, blah, 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 the national level in 2024. So we're kind of still getting used to these. And I thought I would just read what a couple of them, how they explain, how the wording explains what they are in the official documents of our faith. So equity, just 3 of them. I'm going to do equity, generosity, and justice. Equity, we declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. So that's equity. Generosity, we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. And finally, justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions within our congregations, our association, and society at large. So that's how we define equity, generosity, and justice very briefly, 3 of the UU values adopted by delegates at our General Assembly in June 2024. So that's that. I need to light a candle this morning for myself. It is our time where we kind of center down and start a time of meditation and prayer and centering each person in their own way. We begin with lighting candles of joys, sorrows, either silently or if you'd like me to share what's on your heart, just write it down on one of the yellow slips of paper in the pews and bring that forward and hand it to me. We start this time with musical meditation. Thanks so much to the choir who are going to sing us into meditation. And we can use this time to, if we wish, breathe in peace, breathe out love, maybe breathe in pain, breathe out love. Let's join in this time together. I light this first candle to represent the light and love and support that goes out to all who are struggling in body, mind, or spirit, and all those who are carrying someone dear to them in their hearts this morning, including these from Gail and Steve Vail, who just found out a longtime dear friend died last night from a massive heart attack. At age 60, he was 60 years old and leaves a wife, 4 grown kids, and 4 grandkids who are devastated. So our hearts go out to that family and to you. Also for newborn Chloe, who's hospitalized with complications, and for her mother's post-birth recovery, and for moms and dads' worried hearts. And we also have a hope for a daughter's return to health. For one among us who says a 4-millimeter finding was seen on my annual mammogram this past Thursday, having a biopsy soon and hoping for the best outcome, please send love and healing for a good and healthy outcome. So our hearts and our love go out for all those who are facing procedures and medical issues and concerns, including from Keith Wenzel, prayers for Gus Levine, grandson of Lynn and Keith Wenzel, who's recovering from a burst appendix and is in the hospital. Poor Gus. And from Ken and Marsha Cordio and family, a mixed sorrow and joy at the passing of their Aunt Pauline, who died on Thursday after a long struggle with dementia. Joy for a life well lived and relief for her caretakers. I think I'm going to light a candle for gratitudes and joys because these next are all combined as joy and sorrow is often mixed up in our heart. From Rose, who is 11, she says her concern is climate change, and her joy is that we might get kittens soon because they foster. From Hayne, whose joy is that she's so proud of her son Bill, who is competing today at a gymnastics meet, a joy to watch him grow and improve his skills, a joy for all parents. Janet Foley on behalf of the stewardship team, who says thank you to everyone who joined us at the dance party last night. Special thanks to the amazing bands who had us dancing all night and to everyone who made goodies to sell and worked in the kitchen. It was a fabulous night. And yes, we forgot to mention this morning. It was a wonderful night. Thanks to all. And we have another gratitude and joy just seeing and listening to our wonderful children sing this morning. They are truly the hope of the future. With love. I light this candle to represent our concerns for our wider world and all beings, the sorrows which are considerable, our anxieties. And I light this candle to represent the silent, unspoken struggles of every person and the joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts. May all be surrounded by love. May we be surrounded by love also in our beginning and in our end. Will you join with me in our spoken response, which is in your order of service? In our joys and in our sorrows, we are not alone. Invite us to continue to settle into our breath. Perhaps to note how you're feeling now. A lot of heavy sorrows this morning, a lot of concerns, and also joy. Invite us to lift up the names that we've heard this morning, to consider how we ourselves are in need or those who are beloved to us. I will invite us into some silence for you to use as you wish. They will be followed with some words of meditation by the Reverend Michelle Collins. So let's breathe in together, breathing in peace, and breathe out together, breathing out love. ground of all being in this room and beyond it, we're learning to see each other, not the quick assessments or categories, but the full, complicated truth of each and every life. Help us offer the gift of undivided presence, to listen without planning our reply, to make space for stories that take time to unfold, to ask who is missing from here and why. When we accompany those in pain, keep us from the tyranny of fixing. Teach us to stay while the crisis passes by, to show up in the unglamorous middle. May we become communities where every voice matters, where margins become centers, and where attention itself is love made visible. May this be so. Amen. Blessed be. I believe our choir is going to give us a little bit of spiritual lift with our offertory music. Thanks to those of you who are running back and forth between RE and singing. It is much appreciated. There will be an offering to sustain the mission of this congregation. Thank you, choir. They're going to go help in RE. They're not running away because of the sermon topic. I was talking to a colleague this week who said that when she was recently on sabbatical, she spent time visiting other UU congregations during stewardship season, so she heard 4 or 5 stewardship Sunday sermons. And her comment was, they were not good. I mean, let's face it, an annual Sermon on the Mount, as we call it, is an awkward setup for just about everybody. I told someone this week that what I'd like to do is say this. Here's my stewardship sermon, ready? In 3 lines. This is a little brash of me, but here we go. The church can't function unless we give money and give generously. People with money or wealth, please give more. People who are behind on your own bills, forget about it. We got you. That is a sermon. Now let us move on. Oh, you're not off that easy. So the truth is, what I want to talk about this morning is liberation, and more specifically, communal or collective liberation. What that might look like and what it might mean, and most of all, what it might take. Luckily for me, ultimately, I believe that's what stewardship, even of small local congregations, is ultimately about. I believe that what we do here in our own little congregation, in our own little Merrimack Valley, is part of something much, much larger. Pledging, which is making a commitment to give money to one's religious community, is a radical act, I would argue. It flies in the face of everything our society tells us about money. It's a form of resistance to certain economic, religious, and political realities that must be named and challenged if we want to get any closer to this idea of collective liberation. Now, I'm not an economist or a political scientist, so you're just going to have to bear with me this morning as we reflect together and as I stumble along here, okay? And it all begins, I'm afraid, with money. Now, talking about money makes many people feel uncomfortable. Anyone feel uncomfortable talking about money? I mean, maybe talking about money in church? Oh, really makes people uncomfortable. Even more than talking about other things we address here, like death and racism and whether or not there's a God. Which is ironic because Jesus talked about money all the time. 1 in every 10 verses in the Gospels directly addresses money. 15% of his recorded teachings focus on money and possessions. So if Jesus talked about it, it can't be that bad, right? And besides, as usual, you can always zone out. If you need to, just zone out. So let's talk about this wider economic context we find ourselves in. You don't have to raise your hand, but has anyone here ever been anxious about money? Whether you're feeling anxious about it now, or you did as a kid, or as a young adult, or when you were out of work, or when you were underemployed, or when your spouse lost their job, or when you had a new baby, or you couldn't pay all your bills, or you had to pay for college, or you had to manage debt, or had just put $8,400 on your credit card, or had worries about health insurance, or being able to retire. Oy, gewaltz. Who's feeling anxious now? Let's all breathe. Now shake it off. I don't ask about financial anxiety to make you all feel uncomfortable and to bring up hard feelings, but to reduce the isolation that money troubles can bring. If you happen to be having them now, you are not alone. Way back in 1854, the Unitarian Transcendentalist Henry David Thoreau wrote, "The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation," and that, I fear, is still true. And it's not a reflection of a moral failing or lack of ambition or your personal worth, but of certain structural realities. Not having enough money is normal in our nation. It's normal. 2/3 of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 2/3. 1 in 4 have no emergency savings at all. Over 40% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense with their savings. 37% tapped into their savings for essentials in the past year alone. Now, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that billionaires and wealthy politicians have no concept about this, other than maybe as statistics, not as real lived human stories, which they don't seem to care about. They can live in a fantasy world that things are getting better for average Americans and not understand that most people don't share this fantasy, but are rationing everything from coffee to gas. Financial precarity hits our young and old alike. 16% of children in the U.S. live under the official poverty line. That's a family of 4 with annual earnings below $31,000. Imagine living around here with 4 people in your family under $31,000. About 37% of American retirees have no retirement savings at all. Average American has about $170,000 for retirement. 8 to 10% of retirees have saved $1 million or more. We all know that income inequality has reached these historic highs. 60 years ago, the average pay for a CEO in the U.S. was 21 times more than the average worker. Guess what it is today? 300. Got to 281. 281. Who is closest? I'll get you some candy. Another way to say this is that during my own lifetime, CEO pay grew 1,094%, and the typical worker pay rose 26%. 1,094 to 26. That has to do, people, with policy. To be in the top percent of the wealthiest Americans, you need to have a net worth, including your home, savings, investments, minus debts, of at least $970,000. And I'm not trying to start a competition here. This is not a prosperity gospel church. Anyone know about prosperity gospel? Okay, all right. We're not Puritans who believe that wealth is a sign of God's favor. That's how they started. I mean, that was 1645. That's where we came from, people. Being part of the elect who might get into heaven. If life was going well for you, then, it was a good thing. But in case you were wondering, to be in the top 5%, you need to have 1.17 million. Top 2%, 2.7 million. Top 1%, over 11.6 million. That's the group that controls about 30% of the nation's wealth. In that group that is so much in the news, that 0.1%, 62 million. And all of that leads me to talk about religion. Specifically, liberation theology. Have you all heard about that? Some of you, liberation theology? No, yes, mixed group, okay, no. Okay, it's just, every now and then I realize that I'm weird. Of course, my kid tells me that every day. All right. Liberation theology, it's been around for 60 years. It started in the Catholic Church in Latin America. It promoted this idea of the preferential option for the poor. The conviction that God is on the side of the marginalized, God loves the poor, and seeks to liberate them from poverty and oppression. It said that salvation is not just spiritual, but includes liberation from earthly, systemic injustice. And that the church must actively work against unjust social, economic, and political structures and try to alleviate suffering and seek justice for people in this life, not just the afterlife. So anyone out there a liberation theologian and you didn't know it? Maybe some of us are. There have been a lot of attempts to kill liberation theology, but it has risen again, perhaps most recently in the words of Pope Leo, who seems, oddly enough, to want to follow Jesus. Now, according to some modern liberation theologians, the U.S. is not a Christian nation. Rather, it is a nation that practices an economic religion with an idolatry of the market at its heart. God may love the poor, but as Jorg Rieger and Priscilla Silva note, over the past 60 years, the exploitation of human beings and other than human nature must be considered as nothing less than catastrophic. Another liberation theologian, Young Mo Sung, who has focused on the treatment of homeless people in Brazil, concludes that in Brazil, a culture of civil war has been established in which the police see the poor as enemies of good society who must be expelled or killed. For him, the fulfillment of the law of the market leads to death, first for the poor, and then to the death of nature, and then humanity itself. This is not cheery. What's necessary to resist this, other than naming it and exposing it? Rieger and Silva say people across economic classes must recognize their common interest and join in solidarity to promote liberation and challenge injustice. This means cross-class solidarity. It means getting to know each other. It means rubbing shoulders with each other. It means fighting for policies together. Jung Mo Sung says we have to resist the demonization of the poor and affirm what he says is the central message of liberation theology. He says that message is the ultimate meaning of life is that life has worth itself. He's not talking about salvation. He's not talking about Christ. The ultimate meaning of life is life has worth as life itself. Anyone here agree with that? Yeah. So as humans, we do like to group people into categories, right? What if for a moment we group people not according to wealth, but group them as those who want to join together and promote liberation and justice, and those who don't? Or what if for a moment we group people not according to whether or not they believe in God, but group them according to those who affirm that life has worth as life itself, and those who act as if this was not true? What if we group together everybody who believes that we can only, as they say, as they sing, rise together? So this brings me to the last bit of context I want to share today. In addition to economic realities and religious realities, there is politics. Sorry. I'd like to share some terminology that I recently came across in my studies from the South African philosopher and political theorist Achille Mbembe. Mbembe published a book in 2019 called Necropolitics. How about that? Necropolitics. Yeah. It's a bit grim, but I think being able to accurately name what we're seeing clarifies not only what we're up against, but also why we might be feeling upset. And also, it clarifies the importance of our mission and our calling as people of faith in solidarity with other people and other beings across the world. So at its most basic, necropolitics is the use of social and political power by governments, by the state, to dictate how some people may live and others must die. It refers to the government's ability to marginalize and destroy populations that are deemed disposable. Mbembe argues that this ability and right to kill and create what he calls death worlds is central to modern political power. Now, unlike the kings of old who could order executions, you must die, modern necropolitics creates death with statistical perfection. It strips people of their humanity, turns them into statistics, reduces certain populations to what he calls bare life or a living death. So killing is more easily accomplished and accepted. Modern states do this, he argues, through direct and indirect means: war, state violence, policing, deliberate neglect, forced displacement, exclusion from resources, surveillance, systemic racism, necropolitics. It's on full display, he says, when war has become not an exception, but a permanent state and the sacrament of our times. Depressing, right? But in the face of all this, Mbembe argues for a new global politics, a politics of life that doesn't focus on nation states, but on transnational solidarity of the people. Resistance to the spread of death worlds everywhere. Anyone want to sign up for being part of that resistance? Yes. That resistance, he says, has to challenge capitalist and racialized structures that dictate this order, and he dreams of this future when humans will rise together. Now, I was looking up necropolitics, and I came across this other term I'd never heard, cosmopolitics. Not cosmopolitan, cosmopolitics. And this is a new thing that acknowledges the cosmos, the entire interconnected world, as the primary arena for political engagement. Cosmopolitics transcends national boundaries. It includes not only people across nations, but both human and non-human, living and non-living entities that construct our shared reality. Sounds indigenous to me. Liberation theology, cosmopolitics, they sound pretty damn good to me. What we do here in our own little church, in our own little valley, I believe, is connected to something much, much larger. It's about exchanging necropolitics for cosmopolitics, a politics of death for a politics of life. It's about challenging a religion of the market and exchanging a religion of money for a religion of life. It's about addressing the economic reality of extreme wealth disparity and choosing to build a community marked by equity and justice and generosity. Ultimately, pledging is about solidarity. Solidarity across class divisions and beliefs, and beyond that, solidarity across nations, solidarity with others in the Merrimack Valley, with people of faith across the world, with Christians, Jews, and Buddhists, and Muslims, and pagans, and humanists, and religious naturalists, and spiritual ecologists, and agnostics, and atheists who all align themselves with a religion of life, solidarity with all beings. And solidarity, for me, is about liberation. It's what it takes for us to move a little bit closer, 10% closer towards a liberation. Liberation that starts not with ideas about spirituality or salvation, but with our bodies. With the freedom to have movement, freedom to migrate, freedom to not be caged or abused, to have spaces to move freely in among this endless web of other bodies that provide everything that we need for life. You know, pledging to this little church is more radical than it seems. It's to cast our lot with those who confront death with life. It's as simple as that. The ultimate meaning of life is life has worth as life itself. Do you agree? If so, let's get radical. Amen. Woo, that was a lot. You all probably wishing she stayed with that 3-line sermon this morning. Woo! Okay, Fire of Commitment. We're going to sing number 1028 in the teal hymnal, the little one. Let's sing along.
Ken, you want to join us on your, we have a conga right here, Ken. We could use some drumming this morning.
musicians, to our spontaneous drummers, Ken Cordio and Kim Adami. John, thank you to you. Christina, thank you. Thank you for leading our children's choir. Yes, our children's choir. I was getting to them, believe That really was the best way to start this morning. If you didn't like the sermon, just rewind to the start of the service when the kids were singing. I want to thank our team up in the balcony. Thank you all. I see Steve and Raphael, and Jeremy's up there too. Thanks to our greeters and ushers and coffee hour hosts and our worship assistant, Cara Forcino, this morning. Let's just thank each other for showing up this morning to give each other some hope. Can we turn to each other and just say thank you? Thank you for coming. And I again want to say thank you to the folks, the band who played last night. If you were part of the bands, one of the bands who played last night, raise your hand for a second. That was so fun. So fun. A reminder that if you want to show up next Sunday, you might want to go to bed an hour early on Saturday night because it's that time of year to spring ahead. But you know what? If you forget, show up when you show up and there will be coffee. We might imagine storing some of the energy and beauty and hope of this hour in our hearts. Send a little gratitude out to everyone here and to all that encourages, all that sustains us on this amazing, amazing spinning planet. Yes, yes, with life like that. Our closing words are by the Reverend Michelle Collins. As you leave this space made sacred by our presence, may you practice the art of truly noticing yourself with honesty, others with compassion, and the world with clear eyes. Let's go in peace today to bring some of that spirit out into the world. It is much needed. Amen.
Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray.
Upon the mountain, my Lord spoke. Out of his mouth came fire and smoke. Looked all around me, it looked so fine, till I asked my Lord if all was mine.
Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray.
Jordan River is chilly and cold. It chills the body, but not the soul. There ain't but one train upon this track. It runs to heaven and right back.
Every time I feel the Spirit, every time I feel my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel the Spirit, every time I feel the Spirit, I will pray. Yes, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Yes, every time I feel